Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Today is the 23rd day of April 2024. It is Tuesday. What time is it? It's about 8:30 in the morning. I think it's the 23rd. Yes, it is. I got the day right. Congratulations. I'm batting 1,000 today. We're going to talk about the efforts, the ongoing efforts to shut down the demonstrations, demonstrations of young people and people all across the country and even in other countries are doing in support of the Palestinians and the people in Gaza, in support of a ceasefire, in support of ending this genocidal attack being leveled by the IDF and the Zionists on behalf of Benjamin Netanyahu and those folks in the Likud party in Israel who want to stay in power. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you some videos and some clips and talk about some of their tactics and how they are doing it. I'm also going to show you where Jonathan Cook is reporting from London. Similar actions are being done against the demonstrators in London. So we'll talk about all of these things. I'm going to start off with a clip from, I know it's TYT, and I know it's Cenk Uygur, and he's a piece of shit. However, they get this right to a degree. I'm going to show you a clip that he's going to play. And in this clip, he's not entirely sure who these people are at this protest. It's from the New York City protest, somewhere near Gould Hall or Gould Square, which is, by the way, it's on West 4th Street. Gould Square is. New York, NYU is on 4th Street and others. It's down there, but it's like VCU. VCU is a college campus that's inside the fan area of Richmond, Virginia. And it's completely open. There's no closed campus. Like I went to James Madison. I went to VCU. James Madison is like a closed campus. There's certain property that's just definitely just campus and campus alone. But of course, at VCU, it's part of the city. It's part of the fan district in the city of Richmond, and that's what happened. That's how NYU is set up. So I'm going to show you a little bit later the statement from the NYU, read by prepared by the spokesperson for NYU as to why they shut down and they asked the police to come in and start rounding up their own students, arresting them, trying to give them felony fucking charges in order to ruin their college careers because they had the audacity to want to sit and speak and have their fucking feelings heard about what's going on in fucking Gaza, about the genocide that's taking place in Gaza. Teach them a lesson early. Teach them to shut the fuck up and be afraid early. I guess that's NYU's fucking policy. Well, NYU was pressured. NYU was pressured because a number of people, specifically this one individual rabbi, came out and said, I'm telling all the Jews at NYU, all 300 of them, these students, that they need to, or is it Columbia where there's 300? I'm not sure. But we need to not attend classes because of the anti-Semitism that's rampant in these demonstrations. This is an example. They showed a couple examples. I'll show you another one in a second, where one of these fucking thought leader influencers is leading chants at the NYU fucking demonstration. But to start off with, I'm going to show you this one. Now, old Cenk here can't really figure out whether or not these are actual Palestinian supporters who are doing this chant. You tell me.
And they're outside campus.
Yeah, so this is outside campus.
This is outside the campus. This is down the fucking street, a couple blocks away. You'll notice these set of stairs going down. If you're not familiar with New York City, the set of stairs are a subway. So this crowd of about 20 people popped up out of the subway. They all got together. They all traveled there together in the subway. They popped up out of the subway. They hopped up onto the steps, up onto the sidewalk, where they had somebody up above waiting for them to record them. And then, of course, once they were done, they scuttled back down, hopped on the subway, and took off. Have a listen.
You have protesters on the streets threatening violence against Israel. Let's watch.
We support your rockets too. These are not pro-Palestinian supporters. Clearly, without a doubt, I don't care if they bought themselves a Palestinian flag. I don't care if one or two of them are wearing a keffiyeh. The reality is these people are Jewish. These people are Jewish, and they are staging this to be filmed. They are staging this right at this fucking subway stop where they all came out, they all got together, they started doing their chant. Once their chant was on, they all hopped back in the subway and took off. They're not part of the protest. They damn well know they're not going to go in the middle of the protest and start singing this shit. We support your rockets too. They did this so it could be filmed and then it could be used by the media in order to provide support for people like that rabbi who said, oh my God, it's not a safe environment for our Jewish fucking students. That's clearly 100% what happened. Of course, Cenk is going to go, well, we don't know, and this is off campus, and it could, but if it is the Palestinian supporters, that's just stupid.
So, calling for, Hamas to take out another Israeli soldier, they're threatening violence against Israel. I can totally understand why that kind of chant would make Jewish students feel unsafe.
No shit, dumbass, because that's what it was written for. By Jewish students.
It's outside of campus, but it's near campus. And these are the kinds of chants that led to the rabbi calling on Jewish students of Columbia to avoid going to campus for their own safety today.
Look,
see, that's what I'm saying. That's clearly, obviously why it was done. Clearly, obviously why they fucking staged it themselves.
guys, overall, we're going to give you more context here in a second. I think that these things have been greatly exaggerated by the American press. I don't know who those people are. Their faces are covered. I can't see any of them.
Their faces are covered in case there's somebody fucking recording them. They don't want to realize, oh yeah, they're do facial recognition software and realize, oh yeah, they're Jewish. They're local fucking people from the local synagogues.
If those are not people who are agitating from the other side, then they're incredibly dumb people.
They're not that dumb. Now let me show you something else here. Here is another chant that they talked about, that they showed. And I just want to say, because clearly that is an example of somebody saying, oh my God, it's another example of anti-Semitism, and somebody's security camera finds out, come to find out, they see the Jewish guy who lives in the house painting the swastika at 3 o'clock in the morning on his own garage door. That's like that firebomb at that fucking synagogue, at that big wooden door. That was surrounded on both sides by nice thin big plates of glass windows. If somebody wanted to firebomb something, they'd throw it through the glass window. But no, for some reason, it looks like they just kind of tossed it on the ground right in between, perfectly in between the doors that were closed. So they said, oh my God, look at this firebomb, which of course is obviously done by somebody who wants to say anti-Semitism is on the rise. Now they're gonna show you in this instance an example of somebody with what they say is an anti-Semitic or borderline anti-Semitic chant. Have a listen to this.
So here's a video to give you an example. Let's watch.
Attention, everyone. Can I get everyone to form a human chain right here, please? It has Zionists that have entered. My turn! Repeat after me! We have Zionists!
Now let me explain something to you. I want you to understand this very clearly because you're going to go to protests maybe, hopefully, and you're going to have people doing this shit. And I want you to listen very, very carefully to my words. This, repeat after me. Everyone has to repeat my lines. Here's what I want you to do. You know what I started? That started with Occupy. You know who did it? The people who were sent to Occupy by these fucking leadership schools and conferences that are run by the establishment in order to disrupt and to divert the Occupy movement. That's where that whole fucking stupid chant after me bullshit came from. I'm going to say something and everyone's going to say it. I'm going to say something and everyone's going to say it. It's programming. It's dogma. You understand? If they can hear you well enough to repeat what you said, they don't need to repeat what you fucking said. That's conditioning. That's conditioning them so that you are the leader and you are the thought leader. And they are just going to repeat the dogma that whatever comes out of your fucking mouth. So what's going to happen is this. If you go to these fucking things and you have some jackass like this woman, okay, everyone listen to me. Fuck you. Here's what you do. When they go, okay, when they do their first line, okay, everyone's going to repeat what I say. Fuck you in the knees you walked in on. We have a Zionist in the camp. Fuck you in the knees you walked in on. That's, you go fuck yourself. Fuck you, shut up. Fuck you in the knees you walked in on. Whichever one you want to use, be my guest. But that's what you do. Shut the fuck up. We're not fucking children. If you got something to say, say it. I ain't repeating jack shit. I ain't your goddamn monkey. I ain't your goddamn child. You're not some fucking leader. You're not in leadership school anymore. Go fuck yourself. That's what you do. That's what you do. Tell these people to shut the fuck up. Now, she's going to talk about we have a Zionist in the camp, and we're going to form a line and keep the Zionist from a certain point. The reason she's calling somebody a Zionist is because they were wearing a fucking Star of David. Like this dude. This is the Jonathan Cook article. This is a video from London.
Love, nothing but welcome from everyone I've spoken to. The idea that London is a no-go zone for Jews is just for the birds. It's rubbish.
These Jews have come out specially. There were 500 of us meeting outside Belgrave Square. We've all come here on purpose to show that that's rubbish.
Politicians are pushing it as just basically propaganda and to push their own narrative, to pretend that there isn't another voice that opposes the genocide going on in Gaza.
Not in our fucking name. Understand this. These quote-unquote thought leaders who've attended these fucking schools and think of us as children to be manipulated because they're the smartest people in the room are fucking idiots. They're idiots. They're sycophants and they're idiots and they're suck-ups. Don't fucking repeat their bullshit. Don't do it. And if somebody is dumb enough to have been in protest before where someone's doing this shit, like, say, at Occupy, and they think they're fucking experienced and they think this is the way to go. Teach them. Teach them. You don't speak loud enough? Get louder. It's like that line from, what's that movie? The 13th Warrior. They hand him a fucking sword, and the guy's like, he's a little Arab dude, and he's with Vikings, and so they give him a Viking sword. He's like, this sword is heavy, I can't swing it. He goes, grow stronger. You don't think you have the power to fucking project your voice loud enough for the people to hear, the people who need to hear? Then get louder, or sit down, and shut the fuck up. That's what you need to do. Sit down, shut the fuck up. How about that? There's a chant. Let me show you how that works. I'm going to give you an example of how that works. You ready? Okay, here's an example of how that works. Here's an example of how that works.
Who have entered the camp.
Shut the fuck up.
We are going to create a human chain.
Shut the fuck up.
Where I am standing.
Shut the fuck up.
So that
Eat me
not past this point.
and shut the fuck up. You see how interesting that is? You see how that works? That's so lovely. I like that. Anybody gives you a hard time about that, if I'm around, have them come talk to me. I got no problem dealing with it. You notice there's not a whole lot of people doing it. And that's not a whole lot of people rushing to join hands and form a human chain because, oh my goodness, we saw somebody with a Star of David. They must be a Zionist. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people out there who might just happen to be wearing a Star of David, who are not necessarily fucking Zionists. The ones you got to worry about, they're the ones who don't want you to know that they happen to be Jewish. If they're openly wearing a Star of David and they're walking among you, don't worry about them. You ain't got no problem with them. The ones you got a problem with are the ones who have the Star of David hidden underneath their dress or underneath their skirt or underneath their blouse or underneath their fucking shirt. And they're wearing a keffiyeh over top of their face. So you can't see their face. Telling you to worry about the guy with the fucking Star of David. Those are the ones you got to worry about. Let me explain something to you again. This is from 2018, 2019. This was the Great March of Return. And I covered the hell out of this. I don't know where my videos are, my articles are. Some of them are up on Before It's News, that archive of mine. This is around the time when they deleted my website and my YouTube channel and all that shit. And yes, I'm smoking. I don't give a shit anymore. Let me tell you this. 30,000 people? What was the number? 30,000? Israeli snipers opened fire at protesters during the demonstrations, killing 266 people and injuring almost 30,000 in 1 year. 30,000. They were snipers in Israel shooting through the fence into Gaza to dissuade Palestinians from having a peaceful fucking demonstration marching up and down. Every Friday they were there for 12 months. And they thought if they shot enough legs, if they injured enough people, if they crippled enough people, if they hurt enough children, if they killed enough people, the Israelis, then the Palestinians would stop and they'd be afraid. Why were they worried about this? This is in Palestine. This is in Gaza. This is in a different fucking country. This would be like, our guys, our border guys getting pissed off and getting sniper rifles and shooting random people in fucking and Mexico. They wanted to stop them from having these weekly protests, these weekly demonstrations. They wanted them to stop. Just like they want people to stop today on these campuses. So they will literally do any underhanded, conniving, bullshit little thing, including having a bunch of Jews dressing up as Palestinians and talking about, we love your rockets, including having some thought leaders come out there and say some stupid shit and try to get you to repeat her chants, talking about some dude who just happened to have a fucking Star of David. Here are some videos of the protests. People being arrested, including this guy who appears to be either an administrator or a professor, somebody who has an office at NYU.
Trespassing in front of my own house, in front of my own office. You got to know my boy.
Okay, she's a little shrill, but that's okay. She gets a C for effort. A little shrill on the voice. Here's this video, I think, is the one with the fucking buses rolling in. No, here we go. Here's the one with the buses rolling in. I found this on Twitter, if it plays. Found this on Twitter, and if you find this video, this is also Katie Smith who recorded it, but some dude posted it on Twitter. Some gung-ho American freedom of speech. And of course, the gung-ho American who supports freedom of speech posted this because he and his followers were so happy they're bringing in the buses to get them fucking Arabs the fuck out of NYU. Every single comment for miles. I mean, like hundreds of comments. Just people praising the fact that they're getting these people. They were saying they should check their green cards. If they have a green card, they should kick them out of the country. America, love it or leave it. Several of them said that. Literally said, America, love it or leave it. Talking about this is a protest that has nothing to do with America. Except for the fact that certain institutions in our fucking current administration, and of course Donald Trump and his son-in-law, are 100% supportive of the genocide taking place in fucking Gaza. And they were applauding this. These buses rolled in. They arrested 150 people at NYU. 150 people. Why? Because they were so afraid. The Jewish students were so afraid. Afraid of what? Afraid of Jews dressing up as Palestinians and chanting stupid crap. So today, after all this happened yesterday, today, those fucking Zionist supporters, those collaborators here in the United States, are just beside themselves with pride that these young people now some face felonies, some face misdemeanors. I don't know what they're going to do. They'll probably all be tossed out. Especially the ones, well, remember, this is Gould Plaza, so it's open. It's on West 4th Street. Anybody can walk in there. They don't have a right. The NYU does not have the right to fucking shut down the street. It's a fucking city street in fucking New York. In the heart of Lower Manhattan. They don't have the fucking right to do that because there were at the time 50 fucking people having a sit-in Gould Plaza. and they are beside themselves. Bibi Netanyahu's fucking complicit Nazis. Here's a image of what that turned into after these arrests and all that shit. You notice something different about these people and what they're chanting, and they, first of all, they don't need the chant leader bullshit. Second of all, they're not saying, "Oh yeah, we love rockets, we love rockets, burn Tel Aviv." They're not doing that. These are actual demonstrators and supporters. Okay, not fake ones, which are clearly fake, which are clearly staged. They have the getaway fucking vehicle right down there below. They probably worked out the exact fucking time to start their stupid fucking fake chants to coincide with when the next goddamn A train was coming through that station. I guarantee it. I promise you. Because the last thing they wanted was to be confronted by real fucking Palestinian demonstrators. And then they flee down to the fucking subway and they got to stand around for 15 minutes while the real fucking demonstrators take their phones and record their faces. And then do facial recognition software and find out, oh yeah, this person is a member of the ADL, this person is a member of Jewish Defense League, this person is a member of this synagogue. Now, the mainstream media is like running with some story. There's somebody was asked some question. Somebody said, "Fuck Israel," and of course, fuck Israel. Oh my God. Oh no, fuck Israel. Oh, let me clutch my pearls. Fuck Israel. The anti-Semitism is rampant. Fuck Israel is not fucking anti-Semitic. Fuck Israel. I am not anti-Semitic. I always distinguish between Zionism and Judaism. I've talked about my favorite fucking family members who are now both passed. My great uncle and great aunt, Edith and Al, not in that order. The fact that they were Jewish, and the fact they were some of the best people I've met. Some of the best people I've met. I've met some decent people, some really good people. Good, hard-working people. Blue-collar people. Did well with their lives. Married 50-some years. Just really, really, really good people. Jewish. Not an anti-Semitic bone in my body. What do I say? Fuck Israel. Because Israel is doing this. And because Israel has allowed themselves, with, by the way, no electronic voting machines, allowed themselves to put people like Benjamin Netanyahu and the Likud party into power. This is what you get. This is what you get. And now they are refusing. Now, there's protests still taking place in fucking Israel. And they're cracking down harder on protesters in Israel than the cops in fucking NYU did. Much harder. And they are trying their best to wreck people's lives who run blogs like this one or do videos like these out of fucking Israel. Because, again, we talked about this yesterday, the importance of this moment. This is all or nothing. This is the fucking Zionist dream from the Balfour Declaration onward. Over 100 years, 110 years now, roughly, of the Zionist dream of erasing Palestine from the fucking map and taking all of it for the Greater Israel Project. And they understand the significance of this moment. If they are ousted from power and in comes some moderates, whoever they replace them with, they're going to withdraw the IDF from Gaza. They might probably withdraw them from the West Bank. They might even withdraw all the fucking settlers from the West Bank and agree to recognize Palestine as a state. This is a significant fight for them. And so they will stoop to any fucking level, including trying to pick a fucking launch a third world war out of the Middle East between them or the United States and Iran. They will do anything. This is a 110 fucking year program handed down to them from their grandparents and their great-grandparents and their great-great-grandparents. They will do anything. And so when you look at these protests and you look at these moments, and the press focuses on one guy going, fuck Israel. And they go, oh, that's anti-Semitism. Israel is not Judaism. In fact, there are a lot of Jews, I've shown you a video of them, who stand with the Palestinians, who stand with in solidarity with the people who are being fucking killed and bombed right now, saying enough is enough. There are Jewish people like that outside of Israel and inside of Israel. But when someone says, fuck Israel, like I say, fuck Israel, we're talking about the policies of a government, not the people who adhere to a certain religious belief. They are completely separate. They want you to think of them as the same. Because you're an anti-Semite if you question what Israel is doing. Bullshit. You're not anti-Christian when you question what George Bush was doing. You're not an anti-Semite when you question what Benjamin Netanyahu was doing. It's just a fucking fact. But that's what the press. That's how stupid the press think you are. Last thing, I'm going to show you this. Well, we're going to play. Let me play a little more of this for you, just so you can see what we're talking about. Again, this is from The Truth Seeker, and this is from, I think, Jonathan Cook. Jonathan Cook wrote this. Where was the original? I don't know. Maybe Jonathan Cook wrote it for this place. I want to play the rest of this for you. It's only 2 minutes. We'll let this play us out. We'll go to the beginning, and we'll watch this, just so you understand. There are a lot of Jewish people who are on our side in support of a ceasefire, in support of a two-state quote-unquote solution. You know what I say about that? It's not a solution. It's already a reality. By calling it a solution, that implies it's not finalized. It's not done. It is done. 143 of 193 nations out of the fucking UN recognize Palestine as a state. And it is international law according to the fucking June 1967 Accord. There is a green line. There are borders. I know we don't recognize borders between the United States and Mexico anymore. We damn sure recognize the borders between Ukraine and Russia. But apparently we also aren't supposed to recognize the actual legitimate borders that exist between Israel and Palestine. They already exist. There's already a green line. And Israel is already in violation of them.
Nothing but welcome from everyone I've spoken to. The idea that London is a no-go zone for Jews is just for the birds. It's rubbish.
These Jews have come out specially. There were 500 of us meeting outside Belgrave Square. We've all come here on purpose to...
Let me explain one more thing to you. When that person who does the stupid chants is saying, well, we have a Zionist among us. because some guy's wearing his fucking Star of David on the outside. What is she doing? She is an infiltrator using her education and training on how to manipulate people like us because we're so stupid, activists, protesters, demonstrators, supporters of, I don't know, stopping genocide. We're so stupid and weak. But what she's doing is she's trying to drive a fucking wedge between Jewish people who are in support of the Palestinian people and the people who support Palestine, because you want to drive a wedge between them. You want to drive a wedge between them if you're a supporter of Benjamin Netanyahu and Zionism and genocide. You want to drive a wedge between them because the existence of the Jewish people in that crowd makes people wonder, well, how can it be anti-Semitic if the Jewish people are on the same side? How is it anti-Semitic? So you have to drive a wedge between them. Repeat after me. We don't like the Jewish people here. We don't like... Go fuck yourself. Fuck you and the knees you walked in on. That's what you reply when people start doing that shit. Okay? I don't care what they're saying. I don't care if they're well-meaning or not. I'm adult enough to make the decision to come here. You treat me like a fucking adult. I don't need you to no one to repeat your goddamn words. Your words, if they're worth fucking repeating, somebody will repeat them to me later. Chances are, though, if you're doing that bullshit, they're not worth repeating. Just saying. Don't, if you go to a protest, don't participate in that shit, and you should disrupt it. And I don't give a fuck what they do to you.
Show that that's rubbish.
Politicians are pushing it as just basically propaganda to push their own narrative, to pretend that there isn't another voice that opposes the genocide going on in Gaza, to try and weaponize anti-Semitism to a degree.
We've been sold a false narrative. And I think it's really important for Jews everywhere to stand up and say, I'm not okay with this, and this is not being done for me.
Jewish people are not a monolith that all think the same. There's thousands of Jewish people who feel very comfortable in London and oppose the events in Gaza right now.
I've got a poster showing that I'm Jewish, that I'm supporting peace with Palestine, and I feel so welcome. People are really grateful that me and the rest of the Jewish bloc are out today.
You keep hearing the same thing. They're talking about the fact that they feel welcome there. They feel welcome there. That's what that fucking bitch was doing. She wanted them to not feel welcome there.
Not experienced any anti-Semitism or anything that's made me feel uncomfortable.
There's always this talk about people feeling uncomfortable when people draw attention to what's happening in Gaza. But we're feeling uncomfortable about what's happening in Gaza.
There's genocide in Gaza.
Indiscriminate killing of men, women, and children in Gaza.
As a Jewish person, as a human being, I know that using starvation as a weapon of war is immoral, it's illegal.
Having gone through what we've gone through as Jews in history, we should understand what it's like to be persecuted.
We come from a people who have been targeted and persecuted and genocided in the past, and it's quite painful, I think, to feel like this is being undertaken in my name.
Judaism and Zionism are not the same thing.
Ethnic cleansing is fundamental to the Zionist project.
It certainly does not reflect my Jewish values, which are life for all people.
Even our own foreign secretary is talking about how frustrated he is with the Israeli government starving the Palestinian population. It has to end now.
Stop the genocide! 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 Stop the genocide!
So there you go. Lots of protests going on. It's getting bigger. Let me see if I can find something here. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can't. Well, lots of protests going on. What we have to be careful of is that as these protests get bigger and as more people start coming out to them, you're going to have infiltrators, you're going to have black blockers, you're going to have people who are sent there to destabilize them and to make us look unhinged, make us look like we are hateful, make us look as bad as humanly possible, try to break us apart, try to separate us, try to corral us into places that are no one really cares if there's a protest taking place there. We can't, these are the tactics they learned when they broke up Occupy, and they're doing it here and now. Apparently, they're also, according to Jonathan Cook's thing, they're also doing it in London as the protests take place. That's because, like I said before, this is it. This is everything. This is the Greater Kurdistan, the Zionists' fucking plan. It's 110 years old to completely wipe Palestine off the map. It's all or nothing. If they back down now, if they back out now, if they pull out now, it's over. Bibi's done, Likud's done, the Zionists are out of power, and there's going to be recognition of Palestinian state by Israel. The only question is how much of Palestine will be given back to the Palestinians that has been stolen by the Israelis. That's the only question. And they understand that. And for these people, they will do anything. And by these people, I mean Zionists. I don't mean Jewish people. Some Jews are Zionists. Some Christians are Zionists. Bibi was telling me about somebody she met this weekend at a sign drop over top of a highway on a pedestrian bridge, and some people from representing the Christian Zionists in Abbotsford had gotten wind this was going to take place, and so they showed up to demonstrate against the people who were in support of Palestine doing their fucking banner drop over the highway, which is all well and good. It's still free speech. There you go. But even small little actions are going to be pushed back on. I showed you the video yesterday. Some hateful little motherfucker weasel talking about making people like us hurt for doing the things that we do. They are desperate. They are desperate to quietly keep bombing civilians and children in fucking Gaza until they can get all that glorious fucking land. That's all it is. That's all it's about. That's all it's ever been about. It's not about promoting a Jewish homeland. It's about acquiring fucking more. It's colonialism. It's the worst kind of colonialism. It's colonialism draped in a fucking flag and carrying a fucking Torah. I'll keep you up to date as far as what's going on with the schools. I know that they're cracking down. There were, Yale, Harvard, Columbia, NYU, and there are MIT. There's a lot of them up in the Northeast. I don't know if it's spreading out from there, from college campuses, but I'm pretty sure it is. And college campuses are being pressured. They're being pressured from outside by Zionist entities and Zionists and collaborators with Likud parties and Bibi Netanyahu in Israel to try to shut them down on the grounds that they're anti-Semitic. You will probably see more staged events like that chant that took place next to the fucking subway exit. You will probably see more of those happening. You have to keep your eyes open. If something doesn't look or sound right, why would they be saying that? Behead all the babies, rape all the women. They're just not even clever. They're not even clever. But they know they have to say something offensive enough that's going to offend people. Go, oh my God, they're praising the rockets. They want to burn Tel Aviv to the ground. Wipe off Israel off the map. Kill all the Jews. They know they can't go too far, but they got to push the fucking boundaries so that mainstream media can say, oh my God, look at those terrible fucking Palestinian supporters. Round them up and put them in the fucking buses and check their green cards and out the fucking country they go. They know they have to do that. How far will they go? Don't know. Are they going to start shooting people in the leg to stop them from protesting? Yeah. Yeah. That's the next step. That's the next step. They're going to start doing, they're going to resort to violence. Because that's how they are. That's how they think. They think they are justified. Like the Christian Zionists who came over and fucking talked to those people on the bridge. Why are they justified? Why would they be motivated to do that? They're not Jewish. They shouldn't really give a shit. They're probably never going to go to Israel or to Gaza or to Palestine their whole lives. I'll tell you why. Because for Christian Zionists, the Kufi people, the Kufi Christians United for Israel, Kufi people, for these folks, not all of them, some of them, believe in that little, thing where, that's when the fucking rapture is going to happen, is when the Dome of the Rock is destroyed and they rebuild the Temple of David. That's when Jesus is going to come back down and rapture all those good Christian Zionists up into fucking space, into heaven, where they can walk on streets made of gold. People laugh. They say, 17 fucking virgins. How crazy is it? 72 or 17? I don't know what the fuck it is. How crazy is that? We get to walk on streets made of gold. But that's why they're doing it. Because they get something out of it. When the Temple of David returns, after the Dome of the Rock is blown up, then the Messiah is going to come down and rapture all the good people up to heaven where they can walk around on streets of gold and attend shows with the Backstreet Boys. I don't know what heaven's supposed to be. But this is why they do it. Because they are selfish, greedy people. Zionists and the Christian fucking Zionists. And the funny thing is, the Christian Zionists, they say, that they do it because they want to support, Israel and the Jews and all that. They don't. Because when the rapture happens, Jews ain't part of the rapture, boys and girls. Jews picked the wrong fucking team. They're on the wrong side. They're going to stay down here with me and you, and we're going to burn and fight, and, there's demons running around all over the place, and there's going to be all kinds of horrible shit, post-apocalyptic shit. Devil running the fucking planet shit. Where the Christian Zionists get to go up there and laugh at the Jews. Ha, 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 we used you. That's kind of anti-Semitic too when you think about it. But again, it's about fucking selfishness, self-centeredness, and greed. Which is why Zionists do what they do. Anyway, I'll try to cover some more of these protests. I have a thing now for activism down on the side there, and hopefully, maybe I can. They keep these things secret from me. No one tells me when there's going to be protests or demonstrations down here in Tampa. It's like a big secret, because they don't want, I guess, infiltrators showing up, so they don't really broadcast it. But they don't realize, the problem is they're not going to grow. They're going to have their own little club, but the demonstrations and the things aren't going to get bigger and bigger. Unless they do. Let some of us folks know what's going on. So if you know what's going on anywhere near Tampa where my fucking fucked up knees can take me, I'll be glad to go. Anyway, I'm going to cover as much as I can. I know Aunt Bibi did go to that bridge banner drop, and if you go to Aunt Bibi's channel, which is called Aunt Bibi on YouTube, If you follow her on Twitter, I'm sure you'll be able to watch. She said she did a 3-minute video of how that went, so check it out. Anyway, I got to run. Thank you for your time. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.